Well guys, first things first, and good news to all you CIS and droid fans out there, we are doing a droid week on the channel, so make sure you let me know in the comment section below whether you like this concept, because pretty much this entire week we're just going to be talking about droids. So I hope all you droid nuts out there get a real kick out of this week, and learn something new as well. Anyways guys, let's get into the video. In Star Wars The Clone Wars, the T-Series tactical droid readily fills the role of overconfident enemy commander, and while most of them were intended to be used in an episode or two as disposable enemies for the heroes to the battle, and nothing more. As a result, despite their constant claims about odds and whatnot, they're seemingly wrong most of the time in the show, and overall, they appear to be only marginally better tacticians than their OOM series counterparts. In this video, we'll explore why. One tactical droid in particular stands out to most fans of the Clone Wars as a bit of an archetype for the model, TX-20, who commanded a droid garrison at Nabat during the Battle of Ryloth. As Obi-Wan Kenobi and Ghost Company moved through Nabat to destroy his proton cannons, TX-20 was dismissive of their chances and constantly underestimating them despite his strategies failing repeatedly. His oversights ultimately resulted in his destruction, and these traits were shared by many other tactical droid characters, leading many people to generally see the whole line as like him. But that generalization isn't entirely true. There are actually a number of tactical droids in the show that do end up winning their battles, or otherwise end up being right. Most tactical droids in the show ultimately fall somewhere in between, and most of the droids shown in the expanded universe actually trend closer to the more successful models of their line. That said, the whole line of tactical droids had its flaws, which ultimately led to the introduction of the super tactical droids, though standard T-Series models continue to serve under them in smaller command roles. So the question still stands, how often were tactical droids right, and in what ways? First, we're going to look at some of the failures of the bunch. TX-20, who we've already mentioned, is the most notable of this group. He attempted to stop Ghost Company with Gutkers and droid guards but failed in both cases, and the cannons that he was supposed to protect were ultimately destroyed. This, of course, was despite his statement that the odds of a Republic victory was 742 to 1, and though he was almost able to kill Obi-Wan Kenobi during the skirmish, he completely failed to account for the Twi'leks, who ripped them apart. Another example of a tactical droid failing was K2B4, who, by the way, was voiced by Ashley Eckstein, who also voiced Ahsoka Tano. K2B4, along with Osai Sobek, was in command of the Citadel and was deceived multiple times by the Republic strike team on Lola Sayu during their mission to rescue Eve and Peel. She failed to detect the team's arrival on the planet in the first place, and she also failed to command the blockade set up above Lola Sayu during the battle there. That said, she had her successes too. She did, after all, successfully catch R2-D2 and his reprogrammed droids.
My presence.
No, my lord.
Find them, Commander. Get the information. Then kill them all.
Don't ever surprise me with a transmission from Count Dooku. I need time to prepare!
Yes, Commander.
Oh, that doesn't look like General Kenobi. We'll have to improvise.
Your arrival is long overdue. Where have you been? Even so, the odds are 3 to 1 that you are a traitor. We will take you to interrogation below.
Yes, sir. Move it. Don't talk back to me, droid. I'm in charge.
We have captured the shuttle that infiltrated our defenses.
Good. Guard the shuttle, and we'll lure the Jedi into a trap.
Most other cases of tactical droids failing were actually cases of their commanders failing, not the droids themselves. This holds true for the tactical droid that served on the bridge of the Invincible, who was destroyed not because of his own poor tactics, but because Admiral Trench failed to account for all the variables in a situation.
There she is.
Recloaking in 5, 4.
Sir, 4 more Republic torpedoes armed and closing.
Lock us onto that ship's magnetic signature.
Magnetic signature locked.
Arm tracking torpedoes and fire on my command.
But, sir,
We cannot fire unless we lower our shields.
Lower shields and fire!
Lowering shields.
He is headed right for us.
Can't! Raise the shields!
We cannot. The shields are still recharging.
Likewise, TV-94 failed and was destroyed not because his tactics failed, but because General Grievous's tactics failed, and he was unfortunate enough to be in lightsaber range at the time. In most other cases, tactical droids failed simply because they were caught at unawares in ridiculous situations, like the one that commanded the supply ship at Umbara, who, understandably, did not account for clones stealing Umbara fighters and flying right into his hangar.
Okay, break time is over. Get back to work. Hey! Clones? Intruders! Sir, there are clones in the main hangar.
Impossible. The probability of that is 10,003 to 1.
As it turns out, there are more tactical droids that were successful or right than there were tactical droids that were unsuccessful or wrong. Take the first tactical droid we ever see on screen, TF-1726. TF-1726 commanded Separatist forces in the Battle of Quell, a battle that the Confederacy won decisively. TF-1726's tactics were simple and ruthless, and effective. He was able to outmaneuver Ayla Secura and her fleet and destroy most of her Star Destroyers before giving the order to have her ship boarded. When he decided that the battle was taking too long, he had the Star Destroyer destroyed prematurely, sacrificing hundreds of droids in the process for a quick victory. In doing so, he nearly killed Anakin Skywalker, which is quite a feat, especially for a droid.
It's taking too long. Destroy that cruiser.
But sir, there are still hundreds of droids on board.
I don't care.
Roger, roger.
Another example of a victorious droid comes from the expanded universe. Doctor, a modified tactical droid that served under Pascal Argente. Doctor masterminded a plan to allow the Confederacy to capture the strategic Agra world of Yukio, which was not only brilliant but also successful. Using modified seismic tanks, Doctor had mass quantities of soil from Muja dumped on Yukio's planetary shield, which blocked out the planet's sun and threatened their crops. When the Yukians lowered their shields to disperse the dirt, Doctor landed droid armies on the planet, which installed devices that made half the planet go insane and start drawing Yukio's crops anyway. Doctor and his devices were destroyed by a Jedi Padawan and the Republic technically won the battle, but Doctor's plan worked, Yukio's stock prices fell, and Pascal Argente was ultimately able to simply buy the strategic planet outright. Going back to the Ryloth arc, let's look at the other tactical droid present during that battle, TA-175. TA-175 served as Wat Tambor's personal command liaison and repeatedly voiced his doubts about Tambor's strategies and his foolish tactical decisions. Unlike TX-20, TA-175 accurately predicted the outcomes of the events on Ryloth, even though Tambor couldn't see it, and he ultimately left Tambor for dead when it became clear that the battle was lost. TA-175 might have not won the Battle of Ryloth, but had he been in command, he might well have had a chance of doing so. Like TA-175, there are many cases of tactical droids having a better grasp of tactical situations than their commanders. During the first Battle of Plagueon, one such tactical droid actually had his commanding general assassinated over tactical differences. He went on to discard the general's battle plan and implement his own, which ultimately led to a decisive victory for the Confederacy. Despite their successes, however, T-Series tactical droids still had major flaws. There is a common trend that both the victorious and less than victorious tactical droids follow. They weren't good at predicting the unpredictable. That said, neither are most organics, but the Confederacy nonetheless saw it as a shortcoming due to the sheer amount of unpredictableness that the Jedi Generals brought to the Clone Wars. This, of course, is why the Super Tactical Droid was designed, though as the Bad Batch arc revealed, standard tactical droids continued to see use under their command. So that's our analysis of the T-Series tactical droid, But as per usual guys, I want to know what you think. Do you think tactical droids get an undeserved bad reputation, or do you think the general conception of them is justified? Post your thoughts in the comment section below. And just before you go guys, if you want to turn those droids into scrap metal, make sure you check out our Geetsly's gaming network where you can play on our Gmod servers or our Roblox servers. Both a lot of fun. All the links are in the description below. And also guys, if you want to support me more than you already are by watching these videos, checking out my Patreon would be greatly appreciated now that I'm doing this full time. So once again, all those links will be in the description below. Make sure you check them out to join the wider Geetsly's community. Anyways guys, as always, thank you for watching and I hope to see you in the next video.